people keep making this mistake and it's costing you thousands of dollars. Between debt consolidation companies stealing money from people and people just getting bad advice in general, you will end up with a high amount of debt forever. In this video, I'm going to break down the major differences between debt consolidation and debt settlements so you guys can finally get out of debt. Let's go. All right, guys. So number one, do not go with a debt consolidation company. A debt consolidation company is typically a company that's going to call you, send you an email, send you something in the mail. Essentially, they know that you have a certain amount of debt. It could be $500, it could be $1,000, but their major goal is really not to help you, unfortunately. It's really to get you to pay for them, to pay for their services so they can do the exact same things that you can do. And here's the worst part. Most of the time that they collect the money from you, they don't even apply that money that you paid them directly to your creditor. So why do people keep falling for this trap? It's simple. Who doesn't want to get a phone call saying, hey, I see that you got $10,000 worth of debt. Let me go ahead and minimize that to $500. I see that you have $15,000 worth of debt. Let me see if I can get that monthly payment a little bit more affordable for you, right? And then people will fall for it. I know everyone doesn't, but a lot of people do. And too many people do. And that's exactly why we're making this video, so you guys won't make that same mistake. So stay away from all debt consolidation companies. I don't care if you see a commercial about them. I don't care if your friend told you about them. I'm telling you, none of them are trying to help you, unfortunately. Now, how do you do debt consolidation the right way? Well, first off, you got to understand what debt consolidation means. Debt consolidation simply means that you're consolidating all of your debts. So, for example, it could be more than one credit card. It could be a credit card and personal loans. It could be student loans, whatever. Any amount of debt is going to qualify for debt consolidation. So now, consolidating your debt can be done by yourself. All essentially what you're doing is you're just adding up how much debt you have, and then you're either going to do that with a balance transfer, a credit card as an option, or you could do a personal loan. Now, I know interest rates right now are not the best, and we've seen lower. However, there are some personal loans that have a better interest rate than your credit card, a better interest rate than your car, a better interest rate than all of your credit cards combined. Some of you all just may be able to just lower your monthly payment. So let's say, for example, you have a credit card that's like at 22%, for example, but then you get approved for a personal loan that has an interest rate of, let's say, 18% as an example. Now, not only is that personal loan at a better interest rate already, but so what you could do is you could take those credit cards, you could take the credit card, the car, the personal loan, everything that you have that you could possibly fit into that loan. And when you get that deposit from that personal loan, then you want to go ahead and pay all of those debts off. Now you only have to pay one company, which is the company that gave you the new personal loan, instead of having to remember to pay 5 different companies, 3 different companies, 6 different companies, 6 different interest rates, or whatever the case may be. Now, the best thing about debt consolidation is that you guys can easily call these companies and just tell them your situation. You're not the first person that's behind on some of your bills. These companies are used to this process. They have a department. Most creditors have a department made specifically for collections, charge-offs, and working out consolidations. A lot of people don't know this. For example, let's say, for example, you have a credit card with a company. A great example would be like American Express. They have a rebuilding program. So you can have a balance with American Express. 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever. You just call them and say, hey, listen, I'm not able to make these payments like I was before, but I want to keep the relationship with you guys. What options do you guys have? And they'll break it down. They'll say, hey, well, we can go ahead and make this payment arrangement. And at the end of this term, you'll be back in good graces with us. It's not just American Express, guys. Capital One has this. Bank of America has this. Chase has this. Many of these credit card companies do have departments that, again, they will work with you. Do not give up. Some of you guys are going straight to bankruptcy. Some of you guys are going straight to whatever you see on television, whatever you hear on the radio. Again, a lot of those programs, I'm not saying that all of those programs can't help you, but majority of them, I've yet to see a true debt consolidation company nationwide that is really taking people's current debt, right? And then making that a smaller amount of money by truly applying that money. 90% of the time, unfortunately, they were taking people's money and not even paying those companies off. And guys, listen, I don't want that to happen to you. Now, number 2 is going to be debt settlement. Now, debt settlement is very similar to consolidation. Debt settlement is essentially when you're calling the companies and you're saying, hey, I see that I owe you X amount of dollars. I can't afford to pay that. What can we work out? An example would be, hey, you're calling the credit card company, you owe them $1,000. You say, hey, I just can't afford to make these payments anymore. Can I do a settlement? Now, in some cases, they will close out the account. I'll give you an example. We had a client that had a credit card with Chase Bank, and then they owed them like $6,000. And essentially, they were not able to make the monthly payments, based on that balance. They called Chase, and Chase says, hey, listen, here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and instead of you paying us the $6,000 down to about $4,000, they had to close the account, But instead of the interest rate being at like 18%, they get them a sweet deal at like 6%. Now, again, everyone's situation is going to be a little bit different. Now, what's the pros and what's the cons? The pros is that you were able to lower the amount of money that you had to pay them. The con is obviously that you had to close the account out. Now, you're probably thinking, well, what about my relationship with Chase in the future? It's don't worry. Most of these credit card companies, they understand that people are going to make mistakes. They may not talk to you right now, right? They may not do business with you right now, but they will want to do business with you in the future. And when we're talking the future, not 10 years, guys, not even 5 years. Most credit card companies will give you another opportunity to work with them in 2 to 3 Chase, Navy Federal, whomever. Most of these companies will give you another opportunity to work with them because, again, things happen. Now, if you want to learn more about different debt strategies, you can start with this next video. See you there.